And my mother leaned over and she said, "Oh, don't be nervous. Whatever happens tonight, I still love you." I didn't realize she was talking about her speech, not mine. But I want to thank you all, and I know it's late, so I'm going to be brief in my reflections and remarks. But let me start out by saying how proud I am of Andrew. For those of you that don't know, Andrew received, on top of everything else that he does, Congressman Moulton this year decided to give out the Gomes Award. And I know there were a lot of highly respected people in a number of communities that were nominated. And the person who was selected for that award was Andrew. So Andrew, where are you? Can you just wave so we can give you a big round of applause? And where is Deanna?
Deanna's over there.
Deanna's everywhere, that's right. Deanna helped put this whole event together tonight, her and her group, and I think she deserves a big round of applause. Now, for those of you who just saw my mom and dad up here, you heard my mother talk, but what you didn't hear my dad say is that he's actually one of the residents of Harborlight. So I get, Andrew, don't worry, I get a daily report every day from Dad on how well you and Deanna are doing. So tonight, in short, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. And each night we joke, and Drew Tarr's here from my staff. Interestingly, he's the Democratic Tar, as opposed to Bruce, the Republican Tar. So we decided on our side of the line we wanted a Tar as well. So we hired Drew. But we were joking with Drew that every time we do one of these events, we agonize over the speeches and the thoughts and the reflections. And then the night of the event, certain things happen within the night. And the speech kind of goes off to the side because there are things that inspire us to talk. And I want to congratulate Deb, the Institute for Savings, and also the girls from Brookwood. And because this week, a lot of people watched Tuesday night, and I'm just going to refer to it as Tuesday night, and they said, where are we going? And as much as everybody thought about the question of where is America going, and are we going in the right direction, the wrong direction, the middle of the direction, we see this group of girls come forward, sixth graders, sixth grade girls, saying we want to go visit the senior population because already in the sixth grade they had the instinct to want to help those who needed them. They didn't say to their teacher, should I go over to Harborlight? Maybe I can make something that somebody's going to pay me $10 to make, and I'll make something for it. That wasn't their train of thought. Their thought was, I have a talent. Am I right, girls? Their thought was, I have a talent, and I can do something that may help somebody who's living over at Harborlight who needs something that I can provide. And I loved watching that video and hearing the sentence that said, and thank you because you allowed me to do something that made me proud of myself. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it wonderful to hear somebody say thank you for the opportunity to be proud of myself? Not that I'm all that, but thank you for the opportunity to do something. And today when we were going over the facts and figures for this speech, we talked about all the reasons that affordable housing doesn't happen. And here's the most shocking statistic that I came across. 75% of land that could be developed in Massachusetts is not developable for affordable housing because of zoning restrictions. Because 75% of the land that we could use for affordable housing is zoned only for single-family houses. And I want you to think about that because Bruce Tarr is here, Jerry Paracello is here, Senator Lovely, a whole bunch of legislators. And when we get together and we say, okay, affordable housing is an issue, And everybody has told us that it's a priority of theirs. What can we do to help? Guess what? There is nothing we can do on the state level about 75% of the property being zoned for one-family houses, because that occurs at the local level. That's all of you in this room. It's not going to come from the mayors. It's not going to come from the city council. It's going to come from us as individuals. And that's where it has to come. My mother is, in case you didn't notice, a very special woman. And my mother always used to tell me, life is not complicated, we make it more complicated. And life is not complicated because the very basic rule of life is a simple one, and some of you may have heard me say this before. The basic measurement of life is this. When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was thirsty, did you give me drink? When I was homeless, did you give me shelter? And I can go down the whole list, but let's just focus on when I was homeless, did you give me shelter? Because there are too many people in our state right now who are homeless. There are too many kids that are in hotels today thinking that that is a home, a hotel room, a room without a kitchen, a room without a dining room table to sit around to have dinner at night. Kids are growing up in that environment, and it's a substantial number. It is not an easy number to crack. And when you look at the fact that communities say time and time again, and this is on all of us, including me and including my family and everybody in this room, when communities say time and time again, this is my one family house, and I do not want those people in my neighborhood because they are not like me. That is our sin. That is when we go right against what that little girl said, who said, thank you for the opportunity to make me proud of myself. That is when we as human beings lose our shot at redemption. And if there is anybody in this room who doesn't believe that they as an individual needs redemption, then come talk to me after I'm done speaking. Okay? Come talk to me after I'm done speaking. Because we all do. We all respond to that same innate statement of thank you for allowing me to be proud of myself. And when we say those people, okay, if you saw nothing else during the election, there should have been a concern when people said they wanted a certain lifestyle and there were other people that could hurt their lifestyle. Can't have, thank you, can't have immigrants or illegal immigrants or the poor too close to me, because that's not who I am, because I've succeeded. And I don't want to be reminded of anything else. And I don't want those people next to me because they're not like me. And I go through the state, especially in my district of Gloucester, and I see the Brazilian immigrants coming into town, and they make me think of my grandmother, and they make me think of my father. Two people who would have worked as many jobs as they had to make sure I had the chance to go to college, to make sure I had the chance to go to law school, to make sure that I had the chance to represent my community and the people in my community, to say, hey, I respect those people who would take 4 and 5 jobs in order to make sure that their kids could have opportunities that they couldn't. Those are people that we should be inspired by. So I go back to, because I don't want to prolong this too much, because in all honesty it's really easy. My mother can tell you it's past my bedtime. But I don't want to prolong it, but we do have a defining question to ask ourselves. And the defining question is, who do we want to be as individuals? Who do we want to be as community? We can all get upset, we can be proud of, or whatever, of what happened Tuesday, but there's still going to be a defining question that lingers. And the defining question that lingers is, who do we want to be? Do we want to be the person who lives in their single family house that looks at the rest of the world, who doesn't have, who can't achieve, who there's no much opportunity for, and to say, I'm sorry, I have mine. I'm really not worried about yours, because if I do worry about yours, people may think I'm second, I'm something lesser. Or do we want to worry about those people and answer the call that says, when I was homeless, did you give me shelter? I think if I asked and I polled the girls at the Brookwood table, I think they could answer that much easier than anybody else could. And I think we should learn from them, because when the call was, can you take your talent and can you bring it to somebody who doesn't have, they responded immediately without thinking of anything other than I can create something and I can be proud of myself because I created something that somebody needed. And all of us need to leave this dinner tonight not saying, isn't it wonderful that we could pay the price of admission to support Harborlights tonight. That is not the end goal of tonight's dinner. The end goal of tonight's dinner is, can I have the courage to answer the call to say that yes, somebody was homeless and I found my redemption in making sure that I provided a roof over their head. That is the accomplishment of Harborlights. It's the accomplishment of Andrew, who was honored with an award, and it should be the accomplishment of everybody who's at this dinner tonight. Now, one last thing in closing. Wait, one last thing in closing. To the young women that are here, Morgan Bell is here tonight. Morgan Bell is not only the congressional staffer to Congressman Moulton, she is also a graduate of Brookwood. Okay? I want you all to dream, and I want you to dream big. You have a talent. You have many talents. You have opportunities that some children may never have because of your talents. On Tuesday night, I had to watch what could have been the first woman president not make it. Do you know what that means to the girls at this table? I am counting on you, okay? Because I want to see a woman president in my lifetime. So you think big, you dream big, you hold your head up high, and you never forget tonight, and you never forget those words as long as you live, and that motto, that you were given an opportunity to feel proud. Cherish that moment, and to everybody here, let's keep the fight going that has to endure to make sure that every kid grows up with the same opportunity to have a dining room table in their kitchen, to have a roof over their house, and to have every opportunity that these young girls have right here to feel that pride in doing something that somebody else needs. Thank you very much.